When I saw this on Dan O'Connor's channel, I knew I had to have it, even though I have no practical purpose for it. It's the programmable nameplate with time, date, and temperature from Brookstone. You may remember the stores they used to have in shopping malls. Those all closed a couple years ago, but they still have some stores left in airports, and of course they have their website where they sell electronic knickknacks and what they call lifestyle items, and this would fall under that category. They say it's a contemporary desk information center. The front panel could be programmed to display up to 3 different 16-character messages. So for example, you can put your name, your title, and your current status as your personal message, and it would cycle between those 3. And on the back, which is what you look at, it has the date, time, and temperature. And it runs on 4 AAA batteries. This is not a current product, it's from 1999. And here it is. They also had a fancier model with a built-in pen and business card holder, which is the version that Dan O'Connor showed in his video. This is the simpler version that is simply a display. So there's the 16-character dot matrix liquid crystal display. And on the back you get those displays for the date, time, and temperature. And on the bottom is the controls and the battery compartment for the 4 AAA batteries. Okay, the batteries are installed, and according to the instructions you get 60 seconds to replace the batteries before the memory goes blank, so it's no surprise that we're not seeing anything programmed into the display. But on the reverse side, we can see the date, time, and temperature. Oh, it's showing Celsius. We need to change that. There, that's better. And these controls are rather cryptic, so I'll need to look at the instructions to figure out how to program this thing. Oh, in case you're interested, it can also do 24-hour time. And according to the instructions, it always includes February 29th. So on non-leap years, you'll need to manually set it to March 1st. It took a while, but I finally got the date and time programmed. And I don't know if I can show this on camera, but I discovered that all 3 of these displays are actually the same thing. They all have the C and F symbols for the temperature and the AM and PM symbols for the time. So that's kind of interesting. Instead of having 3 separate displays, they just reused the same one for all 3. Now comes programming the message. It says to hold down the S button for 4 seconds. Okay, then we get our flashing cursor. Press the C button to cycle through the letters. Yep. And then you can use the L button to change it from uppercase to lowercase. Okay, finally there's our display. The main pain of programming it is that there's no reverse. So if you overshoot by 1 letter, you have to go all the way around the character set, including the numbers and punctuation marks, to get back to the letter you wanted. So it took quite a few mistakes to get this all programmed in. But there it is, repeating the message with the person's name, their job title or company they work for, and their slogan. So you can have 3 messages of up to 16 characters each, with letters, numbers, and punctuation marks, upper and lowercase. The one nice thing is that after you enter an uppercase letter, it automatically switches to lowercase for the next letter. So that makes it a little bit easier to type in. But that still was quite painful, because these buttons are not the most responsive. One time it was an unintended mistake because the button got stuck in, and I couldn't let it go in time for it to avoid overshooting. So that was an unintentional mistake. And of course this is non-backlit, so you have to be at just the right angle to get a good view of it. Otherwise it's going to be too dim or it's going to be too washed out. But I still like the retro appearance of this dot matrix liquid crystal display. Just like computer and calculator displays from the 1980s. I mean, at a certain angle you can even see the dot matrix of each character cell. But certainly it was quite a bit of effort to program that in. And it says in order to display only one of the messages instead of automatically cycling between them, you press and hold the E key for 4 seconds. And then press the S key until the desired message is displayed. So I'll choose that one. And that's it. You just let it sit there on that one message. And then to return to the cycling of the 3 different messages, you hold the E key for another 4 seconds until it flashes, and now it's going to start cycling again. And one drawback of this is that it does not have multiple memories. It can only store the 3 messages that you program into it. So if you want this to display something temporary, like out to lunch or on vacation or something like that, you would need to manually program it in, and then it would overwrite whatever you had in there. So this would only be practical for a message that you want to display permanently. If your name is longer than 16 characters, you'll need to split it up onto multiple lines, but at least it's nice enough to automatically center each line of text. So that's the Brookstone programmable nameplate from 1999. It does have some limitations and it's rather tedious to program, but I like it. And I think it will look nice on your desk at work or wherever you want to have a 3-line message. And of course it doesn't necessarily have to have your name and title on it. You can make it say anything you want.